Hi, my name is Leah Woodward, and this is my Integrative Thinking Project presentation. So the project that I am working with is how I might use my Plus Business certificate that I will get in May and use that to start a home business. I make beauty products and I really like them, and I wanted to find a way to sell some of these products without taking up a lot of space in my home or going into debt. I would have started this business a long time ago, but I've not really figured out how I could do that. So the stakeholders in this problem would be myself, because I would be the one starting the business, and it would also be my husband. He would be living in the home, so obviously anything that I choose to do is going to impact him in terms of starting a business. And then my kids, although they might leave the home, hopefully not too soon, but they will. But they also are going to be impacted by me starting a business. And depending on which model I go with, they could be impacted more or less. So the problems that I see around starting a business is that there's some amount of startup cost, and depending on what model I go with, those costs could be greater or less, and everybody in the family is going to be impacted because we have a shared income. Starting a business in my home is certainly going to take up space. If I'm selling products, I have to buy bulk material. I have to store the finished product somewhere. I have to have shipping boxes and packaging material, all this kind of stuff. The cleanup would be a problem. I would have to be doing this in my kitchen, and it's a shared space. We have a small home, and that could be difficult for everyone to work around. And something else that I would consider important to me is the implication of shipping products to consumers of this, that they would be contributing to like consumer waste. And this is something that I really didn't want to do. It's one of the reasons I make my own products, so I don't have all this waste. So I wanted to figure out how I could resolve that as well. So my two opposing solutions, I tried to push as far out as possible, not considering finances and that kind of thing, was that I could manufacture the products in my home, but to get around the impact to everyone else in the house, I would keep my business small and just really not scale it. And that would minimize the clutter. It would minimize the need to buy a lot of bulk material and store it somewhere. It would also minimize the cleanup and that kind of thing. The other solution, of course, I was not considering the cost of doing this business, would be to outsource the manufacturing of the product. So here I would engage with some type of distribution channel that would handle the production, the storage, the shipping of the products. So all of these things that were otherwise a problem if it was in my home would now be worked on at this other distribution channel. And I did look into some possible businesses that I could partner with based off of past experience of businesses that I've ran, and it seemed a little bit scary, and it almost took me away from actually engaging with the product, which is something I really also didn't want to do. So neither solution was ideal. So the created solution that I came up with would be to sell my recipes rather than the finished product. And in this way, what I would be doing would be to create PowerPoint slides that have directions and ingredients and other content, and then upload that as a recipe to Etsy. So a customer would buy the recipe rather than the finished product. What I like about this idea is that it allows me to continue with my business certificate, using my business certificate. I don't have to store bulk product or ingredients in my house. The cost of starting the business would be low. And I also wouldn't need to be manufacturing in my home. In fact, I would be manufacturing externally, but not for cost, my customers would actually be making their own product. And the other really great thing that I like about this idea is that I would generally be creating passive income, because once I've made this recipe, I can continue to sell the recipe over and over again. And I don't have to ship product, and I can spend more of my time on developing new recipes that I could add to the business. So I'm really excited, and I hope you like my presentation. I hope that this was fun for you as well when you worked on your own problems.